Is there anything better than a rich fudgy brownie or a light fluffy cheesecake? How about a cheesecake brownie? Hey, you're watching Preppy Kitchen, where I, John Cannell, teach you how to make delicious homemade dishes to share with your family and friends. And today it is a super easy treat that is sure to please. Fudgy brownie on the bottom, light and fluffy, perfectly tangy cheesecake on top, and a pretty marbleized top that's just beyond easy. You're gonna love these. Let's get started. First off, we're gonna add 1 full cup or 226 grams of melted, unsalted butter into a large-ish bowl. Here's the deal. We're gonna be adding in 1 1/3 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips, stirring it up a little bit, starting to melt already, but we're gonna give this like a couple 20-second bursts in the microwave to move it along a bit. You could have melted the butter and the chocolate chips together, but I get worried about people doing that because burnt things happen in that microwave, and it's sad when you like seize all this chocolate and it's an expensive waste. So just melt the butter separately, give it a head start, and then we are going to microwave this on short bursts. Be back in a moment. 2 25-second-ish bursts later, I stirred in between. You can see the chocolate is nice and melted. This is gonna be a buttery, chocolatey brownie, which is exactly how I like it. A bready brownie is like a chocolate muffin, which is not cool. Anyhow, we're gonna add in 3/4 cup of cocoa powder. So don't forget, 1 teaspoon of salt. Salt and chocolate go hand in hand. You need to like have a little bit of a bite with the sugar and the kind of a deep, rich flavor of the cocoa powder. You might know this already, but when you're adding in cocoa powder to warm butter and chocolate, you're blooming it. So you're really kind of waking up that cocoa flavor and intensifying that rich, fudgy amazingness. This is gonna be good. If you have any little bits of chocolate that aren't melted, don't worry about it. You're basically having little mini chocolate chips left in your brownie, and they will melt in the oven. Okay, that's nice and amazing. Ooh. Now it's time for the sugars, and I will say, this is an indulgent dessert. If you needed to reduce sugars, you could take out 1/3 cup of each if you wanted to. That's 1 cup of white sugar, 200 grams, and 1 cup of brown sugar, also 200 grams. Wow. I mean, can you even? If you had a bad day and came home to this brownie with the cheesecake on top, oh, day would be turned around. Taking a pause right now just to measure out 1 cup of flour. That's 120 grams. You can click up here for my how to measure flour video. So many times I get comments saying people followed a recipe but something went left. I tell you, like 90% of the time it's because of mismeasured ingredients, and it's not your fault. It's because people have been teaching you to use cups, and you can pack so much in here, like force it in. And most recipes are calling for more specific amounts. So get a kitchen scale. It doesn't have to be a fancy one, and it'll make a huge difference in your baking. Right now I'm adding in a tablespoon of coffee. And of course, if you watch my videos or follow many other people, you know that coffee wakes that chocolate flavor up. You're not gonna taste coffee because there's a tablespoon of coffee in there. 1 tablespoon of a nice vanilla. Oh, vanilla is amazing. I've had some people ask, like, do you put vanilla in everything? And I'm like, well, yes. Not everything, but many things. Okay, give this a stir. And earlier I said a large-ish bowl. That was wrong. It should have been a large bowl, large. But it's okay, we'll make it work. All right, time to add in the 2 eggs and 1 yolk. Room temperature, please. Give this a really good mix. You could use an electric mixer for this, but And if you're wondering why is there a trivet under here, it's not because something is hot. It's because this counter's cold, and I'm just getting annoyed with the counter chilling things too much. I've had a couple of viewers tell me to use like some kitchen towels underneath, so I'm taking that suggestion and modifying it. Okay, nice and mixed in. Now it's time for the last ingredient, 1 cup, 120 grams of all-purpose flour. This is a fudgy brownie, not a cakey brownie. It's gonna work, this bowl will work. So I don't need any leavening agents, and you don't want that much flour. It's really just kind of to hold it together. Okay, switched to a spatula. I'm just gonna finish mixing this up by hand because I'm basically folding in the flour. And all I'm doing is looking for any like unmixed pockets. It wouldn't be the end of the world, but you know I like a homogeneous mixture. Okay, oh my gosh, so luscious. I got a gift from this Etsy seller when I was buying some stuff for the kitchen. I want to show it to you. I was like, what is this? This is so dumb, I would never use it. Then I was like, this is amazing, I'm gonna use this every day. Look at these. They're tiny little spoons, which I thought were ridiculous, but I realized would be a perfect tasting spoon. It's like one spoon, you don't double dip, etc. That is really good. Okay, it's gonna be even better when it's baked. Living on the edge. I prepped a 9 by 9 inch baking pan, and you could do this in an 8 by 8, so let's be thicker. You could do it in a 9 by 13 if you divide it off with some foil and back the foil up and put the paper in. That's what I did actually on the blog post if you look really carefully at the process shots, because I hadn't ordered a 9 by 9 inch pan. But I got it, so I'm using it. All right, into the bowl. Wow, look at these ribbons of amazingness. Could you say no to that? This is gonna be criminally delicious. I'm just gonna move this to the edges of the pan. It will well, this is a 2-layer dessert, so you do wanna kind of move it out of it. And the parchment paper is gonna save your life after this is baked, because I've had brownies stuck in the pan and it is not pretty, especially when you have to photograph things. Perfect. This can get set aside, and now we're gonna do our easy breezy, delicious cheesecake topping. Oh, okay. Set aside. This cheesecake topping comes together in a snap. All you need is that 16 ounces or 2 packages of cream cheese, and it should be room temperature, but mine was ice cold because I forgot to take it out ahead of time. So just microwave it in like little 30-second bursts. 2 should be fine. This is kind of messy though now, so don't mind me. I don't know why cream cheese is so amazing, but it is amazing. You can click up here for my Oreo cheesecake. There's a ton of cheesecake stuff on the blog too. And I'm all ears if you have any cheesecake suggestions for me. If you ever have a problem, it's because 1, this wasn't mixed up enough, and 2, it might have been cold and you got lumps. It's not gonna make the taste change, but it just won't look as smooth. So just stir, 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 or beat, beat, beat. I would let this mix on like medium-ish for maybe like 4 minutes. Just walk away, do some cleaning, and come back. You'll be happy about it. Trust me. I'm gonna scrape that bowl down. Now we're gonna run this on low-ish, and then add 1/2 cup of sugar. Let that beat in. Now you should scrape the bowl down. Before, it was just for form's sake, but here I see some sugar hanging out. I'm not about that. So now, 1 tablespoon of vanilla. So smooth and glossy, I love it. And now 2 eggs, room temperature once again, please. Add 1 in, let it mix. Number 2. God, I love the way cream cheese tastes so much. No lumps, nice and smooth, and look at this. It looks so gorgeous. I wanna drink this bowl so bad, I can't even tell you. It's literally just for you that I'm not doing it. So we're gonna pour this in now, and it should level itself out, but you know, you can move it around. So get all that batter out. Okay, now let's give it a little spread, because what we're gonna do is add those dollops in, and it's gonna be really fun. Now it's time to go back to that 1/2 cup of reserved brownie batter, plop it into a bowl with 1 tablespoon of hot water. So what we wanna do is thin the batter out so that it's going to be able to swirl around. Kind of making like a brownie soup almost. Delicious soup. If you want to use a whisk, it's probably a better idea. While I'm sharing, you know how you like have a recipe that you do all the time and you're like, I know this recipe, and you ended up doing something slightly different? Well, in this recipe, I didn't check the blog post and I just mixed in all the chocolate chips instead of reserving some for mixing in later, but that's fine. Either way is totally acceptable. So if you like that chocolate chip life, just reserve some, mix them at the end. Now you can see this is much more kind of like swirlable. Just exactly what we want. Okay, so now the fun part. We're gonna take like tablespoon-sized dollops of the thinned out batter and add them to the brownie mixture here. It could be like randomly placed, doesn't have to be in any pattern. This might not look amazing right now, but it will. Take a skewer, my favorite kitchen tool of all, And we're gonna begin to swirling things around. So at first it's gonna look kind of janky, but then some swirl magic will happen. Look at that. I take my swirls very seriously. It's like level 10 concentration. So once you're happy with like the pattern you've created with your swirls, this is gonna go into the oven for 30 minutes or so at 350 Fahrenheit. And you're gonna see like the top have that cheesecake magic and the bottom is gonna have like a very fudgy brownie texture. So it's gonna be delightful. Okay, look how beautifully this baked. It's amazing. This baked for about 35 minutes. I left it in a little bit longer and I just turned the oven off, let it hang out there for like 30 minutes or so, just because I wanted it to have a really nice unmarred top without the cracks. Let it come to room temperature. Then I put it in the fridge for a bit just to firm up, because taking it out, you kind of want to like give it a test, see what's happening, and then like that. This is why I wanted to show you that. If you didn't have this paper, you'd be in trouble. And if you used foil, like just don't use foil. It's so messy for this purpose. And if it's much more easy to rip foil when you're pulling it out. All right, this came out nicely. We're gonna give this a cut and then give it a taste. I like the corner pieces in case I ever go to your house. It is a fudgy brownie, just like I like it. Look at that. This is so nice and fudgy, and that cheesecake is fluff-tastic. It's so light with the perfect right tang. Okay, look into my cheesecake brownie. No, don't do it too close. Too close. Time for a bite. Okay, I've been looking forward to this, let me tell you. Oh, that top. I mean, it's really good. Is it rich? Yes, it is very rich. Is that wrong? No, it's not wrong. Okay, I'm just gonna eat this, but I need to say goodbye. So, if you like this recipe, check out my Oreo cheesecake recipe. It is so good, full of Oreos and just like, it's plain delicious. Hope you get to make this recipe. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. I'll have eaten this cake by then. Cheesecake brownie.